The scientific evidence used by the Crown to help convict Mark Lundy has come under close scrutiny at the Court of Appeal in Wellington. The bodies of 38-year-old Christine Lundy and 7-year-old Amber were found by Mrs Lundy's brother in their Palmerston North home on August 30, 2000. Both had been brutally bludgeoned to death. In 2002, Mark Lundy was found guilty of their murders, but the Privy Council allowed him a retrial. In 2015, he was once again found guilty, but he is now asking the Court of Appeal to overturn those convictions. Our court reporter Anne-Marie May has been at today's hearing and filed this report.
Mark Lundy's lawyer Jonathan Eaton QC told the Court of Appeal that untested science was used to convict his client a second time, despite warnings about that evidence from the Privy Council. He said a lot had changed since Lundy's first trial, and not just the time the police claimed the murders occurred.
But also, and critically, in relation to the science which I think we would all agree has become extraordinarily complex. And at the heart of this appeal, therefore, is this issue of untested and novel science and its relationship with criminal justice.
Jonathan Eaton said that new science was the identification of RNA, a material similar to DNA, which allows a scientist to pinpoint which part of the body a particular piece of tissue is from, for example, a limb or the brain. He said the questions raised relating to RNA should have been thrashed out by scientific experts in peer reviews rather than being debated in front of the jury at Mark Lundy's retrial.
And to encapsulate the response of the Crown throughout, it is effectively, we are diligent, thorough and transparent, and we self-validate. So just take our word for it.
Jonathan Eaton said if, as the Crown claimed, his client had stolen his wife's jewellery box to make the killings look like a burglary gone wrong, that raised other questions relating to the DNA material found on his polo shirt.
And if he was so meticulous, and on the Crown theory, he's got rid of all this other incriminating material, that is the weapon, the jewellery box, shoes, gloves, hat, wig, or not, who knows? Why didn't he get rid of the polo shirt? Why take any chances? Why don't you get rid of everything? As a starting point, just strikes a little odd for someone who apparently has been so careful. He's forgotten about the risks of some transference or spatter onto his polo shirt.
Jonathan Eaton said the other matter which had not been dealt with adequately at Mark Lundy's retrial was the public perception of him. He said a straw poll of members of the public years after the killings showed most people still talked about his client feigning distress at the funeral, and that was not helped by programs such as Nigel Latter's Beyond the Darklands.
There's this view that he is a big, fat so-and-so who was with an escort on the night, and did you see that unconvincing performance at the funeral? Of course he's guilty. He's engendered no public sympathy, notwithstanding his years of protestations of innocence.
The media benches at the Court of Appeal were full, and among those in the packed public gallery were Mark Lundy's brother-in-law Dave Jones and Mr Jones' son. The appeal hearing will continue tomorrow. For Checkpoint, Anne-Marie May.